Alright, in this video, I'm going to quickly go through the tempering procedure for the quenched and tempered group of the 4140 Steel Lab and MSE 407. So with this and all of the other treatments that require the furnace, you'll use the same safety equipment, so nothing new there. And then you'll need your you'll need your quenched 4140 samples that have gone through the quenching and austenitizing process in the previous video. So these are the samples that we have for that. So you see it still has the oxide, but we're going to clean this off after the tempering step. So we've already taken them out, we've already quenched them, so now we go to tempering. So tempering is a process in which we bring it back up to an intermediate temperature below the austenitizing temperature, which is still on over here at 850. So somewhere between below the austenitizing temperature and above room temperature, we're going to temper them for a given amount of time at that temperature. So we have a lot of the other furnaces in the lab here set up for those different temperatures. And so all we need to do is take our quenched samples that have been rinsed off really quickly, and what we're going to do is we're going to load them into one of the furnaces that is at temperature, that is already at the temperature set in the handout, and then we're going to insert them just like we did in the austenitizing furnace, set a timer for the given amount of time, and then take them out, and then we're going to quench them in water afterwards. So this is to stop the tempering process. So I've actually got the water bath over here, just a bucket full of water. There's sand in the bottom, so it doesn't hit the bottom. But after the tempering process, it's going into there to rapidly cool it. So I'm not going to sort of go through the specifics of this tempering process, because it's just like any other heat treatment. The safety procedures and so forth are the same. The only difference is the temperature and the time that we use. So look at the handout for what we use there. On top of that, the only other difference is that you'll see noted in some that it says box furnace. This is an example of a box furnace. It's just an open air furnace. But then we also have a salt pot furnace that it says for 2 of the temperatures. And if you look down, this is a salt pot furnace. So basically it opens from the top, and then there will be a container full of a molten salt, just like we had in the glass lab. So we put our samples into that molten salt at that temperature because of the thermal conductivity of that salt compared to air. And then we do the same thing. We put them in there, take them out after their required amount of time. So there's tempering is pretty much just another heat treatment, but it's done after we've quenched and after we've austenitized our 4140 steel. So that's basically it for this. In the data, you'll see the times and temperatures, and also whether it's box or salt pot. You'll see that in the data and in the handout. And so that's all you'll need to know basically about the tempering process. So we've used whatever the furnace is to do that tempering process.